Hello there, and many thanks for keeping a date with us on the program Road to Edo 2024. Of course, you know this program is all about showcasing Edo 2024 Governorship Aspirant. And you want to market yourself and ensure that you go into the subconsciousness of party delegates. This is one platform you can take advantage of to market yourself, to sell yourself. And if you're lucky, you make it to the elections proper as a candidate, be rest assured that we can even do more for you. So endeavor to contact the producer, Road to Edo 2024, from our promos, and you can come on set and be part of this discussion. But let's get started with our guest, who is a global icon against the background of his chosen profession, what he's done and is still doing just to make life more meaningful. We have with us here a Labour Party Edo 2024 Governorship Aspirant in the person of Paul Agbonze Obazele. We have with us here a notable actor, producer, philanthropist, and two-time national president of the Association of Movie Producers, AMP, Paul Agbonze Obazele, wants to succeed Governor Godwin Obaseki as the next governor of Edo State. Obazele is a product of the Business Administration Department of Federal Polytechnic, Auchi, declared that he has a leading to contest for the exalted position under the platform of the Labour Party. His aspiration is driven by a strong desire to address the prevalent issues affecting the common and good people in Edo State. Obazele, who is not new to politics, especially at industry and grassroots level, emphasized the need to transform the current situation where citizens are neglected and lack a voice in decisions affecting their lives. Obazele, Edo-born from Central Senatorial District, is an entertainment entrepreneur who runs a production company that has employed and empowered so many young people, also holds a strong commitment to public service, and has a track record of contributing to the betterment of the society. A devout Christian and an old boy of Anglican Grammar School, Ubuluku, Delta State, it was while at the Federal Polytechnic, Auchi, that Obazele's passion for the world of make-believe was further ignited. Described by most of his colleagues as a patriot and an easygoing man who derives joy in fighting other people's causes, Obazele, star of Last Option and Sweetest Taboo, says it's possible that he may have written, acted, and directed over 100 movies. Paul Obazele, welcome to the program Road to Edo 2024. We're so delighted to have you here on the program.
I applaud you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. Good to see you. I mean, I'm always enthralled and enamored by your looks. I've known you, you know, as a young guy growing up. That seeming consistency in your look, in your appearance has been there. When we see you in movies, act those majestic roles as a business mogul and all of that, and then we see you physically, you're trying to place side by side what we see there, what we see physically, and your humility is just exceptional. Good to have you here. So what's the secret? Let's start off from there.
Simply put, I just put my trust in God. I put my gaze in Christ, who happens to be the author and the finisher of my faith. And the moment you do that, you have peace. And once Christ is your strong tower, there's peace embedded in you.
Absolutely.
That's what I do.
Fantastic. So, looking at your profile, you've made tremendous impact from your chosen profession, which is something that has been inborn in you. Touching lives, you're an actor, a producer, a director, a writer, a philanthropist, even a teacher. We can just go on and on and on. So why the quest to be governor of Edo State? Why do you want to be governor of Edo State?
You look at it like this. You want to find out if you are a success. You're only a success when you affect lives and turn the narratives of people. When you take them from the penury, abject penury they live, the poverty line, a situation where an average Nigerian, and most especially an average Edolite, cannot have 1 square meal, then you don't call yourself a success. I'm not a success until food is placed on the table of the average Edolite. I'm not a success until the average Edolite can afford hospital. I'm not a success until the average Edolite can get that 2,000 naira to buy a card. Yet Edo State happens to be a state where milk and honey flows vis-a-vis what our derivation is. It becomes a misnomer that the people who lead us have not seen the reason why the average poor man should be affected. It pains me, it hurts me. So I come to this state sometimes to come shoot. And most of the time, when I shoot, I give out my earnings to them. And I come back home and my wife is looking at me, what's wrong with you? I said, there's nothing wrong with me. But the fact is that I come into a place where I see people manage, they manage. You know what it means to manage? Where they don't know when the next meal is going to come. And we have so much in this land. I use the word milk and honey flowing. And yet we live in abject poverty and penury. Because a group of people decided to weaponize poverty in this state and in the country. So I'm stepping out from my comfort zone to say, okay, let me come in there. Let me join us. Let us weather this storm together. Okay. Let us take the bull by the horn. Let us bring back the glory of Edo State. Because there was a story about Midwest. We must tell that story.
Fantastic. There are those who feel that you've never been in mainstream politics, like being a political party or occupying a political office all these years. So how do you think you can fit in, especially in a country like ours, where there's this seeming doubts or some sort of negative disposition towards people who are not in mainstream politics coming into mainstream politics?
Well, let me allay the fears of people. Once upon a time in my life, I came in to become the president of Association of Movie Producers. We just had only 2, the national headquarters and just 1 state. But by the time I was done, I had 26 states attached to me. And if I could run the affairs of these people in different states, I can run the affairs of Edo State, which is just 4,777,000 people. Edo State was part of the people I managed, and I brought succor to them. I brought meaningful contribution to them. Now, again, I asked a question. They tell me, they say I am not there. The ones that are there, what have they done? Are they not the ones who connived to plunder the wealth and the wealth of Edo State? Are they not the ones who turned our fathers, our mothers into put them in the beggarly position they are? Are they not the ones that turned our daughters and our daughters into prostitutes and our sons into 419 boys? And they dare to say that because I am not there, I have not been in the mainstream, I beg to differ from them. I have come with light. I have come to bring back the glory of what Midwest used to be, of what Bendel used to be, of what the likes of General Obunia did, of what the likes of Abdusali did. I have come back to come and do it. I'm not coming to blame or find faults on anybody, but I've come to tell my people, think. Stop that thing you're doing. Don't let them use you. Don't let them buy your future. Don't mortgage the future of your children. Don't mortgage the future of your grandchildren. It has been mortgaged already. But the one that has come with a lone voice right now, his name is Paul Agbonze Obazele, that has come to change the narrative, and there's going to be a paradigm shift. That is why I'm standing.
So why the choice of Labour Party to advance your political aspirations?
Because once upon a time, one man called Peter Obi came in. A man who they never allowed, gave a breather to want to express himself. A man who they used money they want to use money to suffocate. He came out, and the bedrock of where he started from was from Edo State. A bunch of people who stood up to say we know they give shishi. A bunch of people who stood up to say, I do not be Lagos. And therefore I looked at it. I saw the clarion call. I saw the heartbeats of them. I saw my beat with their beats synchronizing. I said, okay, let's push it through this and we'll come in. And that's why Labour Party. Because we are there for competency. We are there for transparency. We are there for accountability. We are the people that can give voice to the voiceless. I stand for the voiceless and we give voice to the voiceless.
There's this talk about, of course, you know, politics is money, and money is politics. There's been talks around the fact that the money bags have also infiltrated Labour Party. Against that premise, what are your chances in the Labour Party?
Unfortunately, they have, but fortunately, the obedient people know this set of people. Like I said, I opened my mouth and I said, open your eyes. Don't mortgage the future of your children. Do not. Look for the person who has passion, who has capacity, who is competent enough, and who is transparent enough, who has a track record of keeping his words, who has been tested and trusted, who has done it before from the outside world. I am not going to stand in the same box they stand. I'm going to stand from outside the box and conquer what is inside the box. I don't care the money they want to drop. The people they are giving, oh boy, when they're giving out the money, I take the money, I chop. Now that money went in thief before. When I chop up.
Okay. Let's talk about governance. This is very germane against the background that we can look at the issue of the economy of Edo State. Yeah. We can look at the issue of insecurity in Edo State. We can look at the issue of rural-urban migration in Edo State, rural infrastructure, as it were. What's your model along these three planks?
Now, in the first place, we look at infrastructures, and when we look at infrastructure, intentionally we intend to build it. I ask you a question. Do you know how much manpower we waste on the road? Where is the infrastructure on our road? There's nothing. There's nothing. Now, but then, I have a prototype. And what's my prototype? Build the rails. It is drawn as a triangle. We build our rails. We don't need the humongous crowd of people to build it. We'll bring in industries that can build rails. We have the terminals here. We have one running from the state capital to Awuchi, running from Awuchi to Esa, from Esa to Onwa, and back to the state capital. It means that you can actually do business or stay in any place and go to your office. In 10 minutes, you are there. You don't need to come to Benin. You don't need to congest the state capital. That's one of the infrastructure we are looking at. We are looking at siting of industry outside the congested place called Benin. We are looking at the different areas where we can grow these things. Every senatorial district in Edo State has its peculiarity. Am I right? They have what they champion. They have the things they can do effectively well. So the moment you distribute these things, you find out that you are growing it. But most importantly of all, you know, when I put up the thing I put up, I called what you call an agenda. I call what you call a manifesto. I called it a covenant. You know what I called it? It becomes a binding thing between you and me. It becomes something I have written to you that you remind me that I did not do. And one of it is the HMO. Why is it the HMO? What is the slogan of Edo State? The heartbeat of the nation. Am I right? And if the heart is sick, what happens to the body? The body becomes sick. And because Edo has not been cured, the nation is sick. So the first thing we need to do is to cure Edo State. How do we cure Edo State? Give them health insurance. If you give Edo State health insurance, which I am going to do, that an average born child of Edo State from day one is captured, a welfare card is captured for him, and we look after him. The moment you do it, you have found out that all pharmaceutical companies are going to come into Edo State.
But the present administration in Edo State already has a health insurance commission in place taking care of that.
That is
what are you doing differently?
What I'm going to do differently is that everybody will be, not a sectoral thing. Every child will be. Sir, I have done it before. Go check my track record with Association of Movie Producers. My reign was called the Golden Reign. There was no death in my time. Please go and confirm. It's there. Go and confirm it. we will reenact the pact we had. The moment we do it, you find that these pharmaceuticals, they spring up. The moment they spring up, it means I have been able to create employment in Edo State. The moment that happens, it means that hospitals are coming in. And we are not going to concentrate in Benin. Owa is there. Esako is there. Esa is there. We are going to look at those places, push them in there. And the moment you do it, you find that the congestion of Edo State, of Benin, is reduced. You find that the infrastructures are growing there. Now, outside that, again, like I told you, industry, where we talk about infrastructures, I ask you a question. I told you that in the different senatorial sectors, we have peculiar things about us. Am I right? Now, in the process of this, when you cite these things, take agriculture, for example, and we mechanize agriculture, we mechanize. You look at, you remember that once upon a time in this state, we used to have what they call the Ekpoma rice? Where is it today? The moment you do that, it means you have been able to draw out farmers. Now, you talked about insecurity in this state. You know why there's insecurity? Because there's no light. And yet we have one of the most magnificent plants in this place, built by Edo, built from the scratch by Edo. It's called Azura. Yes, kudos to Obazele that he did that. But then, amazingly, we do not, outside contributing 10% to our national grid, we do not have the capacity to distribute what we have. Now, if those things are wired into these different senatorial areas, and we create cameras, you find out that you've been able to police the state.
As lofty as these ideas are, you need revenue to drive them, to execute this project and make life more meaningful for the people in line with your covenant, like you rightly put it. What's your strategy to boost the internal revenue, internally generated revenue in Edo State, so you can have money to actualize these dreams?
Let me ask you one question. Where did Oshomole get money to do his educational thing? He did not think about Edo State. He thought outside the box of Edo State. We have friends that will come in, that will invest in this. Why do I pick you up as an actor to come and act for me? Have you ever acted before? But I invested in you because I believe you can deliver. There are things they call deliverables. We can do it. Oshomole was able to use the universal basic education thing. It's a world thing. Am I right? And he tapped into it. And federal government was committed into paying whatever things it is. The same thing. The World Health Organization is there. We will tap into those things. We will not depend on the revenues collected from our derivation. But I tell you what stops me from using my security vote? I don't need to bank my security vote because I want to win the second tenor election. I don't need to do that. I don't need to weaponize poverty because I want to win an election, to make people depend on the handouts I give to them. Every resources of Edo State, whether it's for Paul Obazele or not for Paul Obazele, will be used. And the people who are going to work with me, they will be treated as the average civil servant that is there.
Okay, quickly. In Edo Central, where you are from?
Yes, sir.
There's the PDP has, in a sense, come to a point of giving all their support to a particular aspirant. That is what they call a consensus. How does this resonate with you and your chances?
We are all in a race. The Bible tells me that the race is not for the sweetest or the fastest, but unto who God shows mercy. And I know the mercy of God is upon me. I don't care what the person does. I don't care what they do. The fact is that nobody is going to snatch it from me. Nobody is going to take it for me to run, and nobody is going to grab it from me. I will be in Osadebe house while they go to court. I will be the governor of Edo State. You will remember this day on this ITV ground.
Insecurity, like we tried to highlight a while ago, has become hydra-headed. In the last few days, I mean, from December 24 up till now, there's been this rivalry, court rivalry in Edo State, leading to the wanton loss of lives, especially young men being caught at their prime. What is your model in addressing the issues that borders on the youths in terms of empowerment, in terms of employment, and subsequently checking security as a challenge?
Okay, look at it like this. If you read my covenant, that's where I call the ICT thing. Youthful resting. I remember you attended one of the courses we did.
Yes, that's why I described you as a teacher.
Yeah.
Because you're my teacher.
Yeah. We were able to arrest that. It was worse then. You remember? It was worse in Niger Delta. Okay. We were able to, we did the Niger Delta tour, and we mopped them from the street. It's the same thing we are going to do in Edo State. Every Edo child will be empowered. How? What do you think about at the moment you come in from Oluku down towards Uniben, and as you get in there, you are seeing your phone is on a Wi-Fi? It means you can do your business there. It means that nobody is going to hire you as a hired gun to do issues that are not. Can you imagine that? Now imagine a situation again where we tap from Azura and all our street lights are there and we have our CCTV there. The moment you do that, you have been able to create what we call, UK is the most policed state in the world, but you don't see police people on the street. You know why? Because of the CCTV. And there's what we call a cockpit. It's described like this. And it's networked. And we see everything that's happening everywhere. So you now find out the fact that they know, once you drum it into their ears, that they know that if you commit a crime, you'll be caught. Everybody will back down. Now, with the Wi-Fi provided for us, it becomes a direct engagement of them to do their business on the phone. There are so many things that can be done with the phone. Then outside that, sir, from day one, we are going to create an academy. What is the academy? Remember the description of our 634, why it was created? It's a vocational team. Yeah. The people who cannot read can do vocational team. Now, we've been able to collect 65 industrial offices that can help us in our vocational thing. Now, you bring them into a place as big as Ugbe Stadium, for example. Okay. You beat them into the different departments they want to come in to do whatever training they want to do. We give them, it's a 1 year thing, a 6 months training thing, and a 6 months internship. Now, the 62 companies we are talking about, we have collected them, we have spoken to them that we take them in 6 month internship thing after the first 6 months they train. And we are bringing experts from the different vocations to come and lecture them and teach them. There are bosses that will be given to them that will take them to such place. They finish 6 months training. The next 6 months in the internship thing, we are going to put them on a salary. It means that we've been able to mop them from the street. It means that we have been able to reorientate and educate them. Do not forget, we are going to get our own Edo State orientation agency that will keep drumming it in their mind that corruption is not good, number one, crime is not good, number two, self-sufficiency is good. Those are slogans that will come in to start affecting the mindset of the average.
What's your model for education? As important as it is, you haven't said anything about that.
Education?
Yes.
Yeah, I just gave you part of it. You understand? Education is going to be there. Very, very strong. We will take interest in everything our children are. For example, I give another example again. I'm a consultant to a particular local government in Lagos State. And it will shock you, sir. It will shock you that this place is a place nobody will want to go to school. But amazingly has the best, the largest collection of schools in Lagos State. That is Iferodu Ajoromi local government. Okay. Yeah. And it has the best schools you can think of. How? In sports and in ICT. The academy is great. Okay. Now, same model will be applied here. Every school will have an ICT center. Every school will have a sports ground. So we shall know what you are good in. And we should be able to pitch them into, pitch big companies into giving them scholarships.
As we gradually wind up this conversation, there's a pattern. We've seen several occasions where people in the entertainment industry, Nollywood, make efforts to come into governance, either seeking an elected position. They haven't really quite done well, except that they've been appointed. So if peradventure you lose, would you accept at the primaries?
I will not lose. I don't have a plan B. This is my plan.
What is your conviction?
My conviction is that I will win. The conviction is the time has come for a fresh breath in Edo State. The truth is that Edo State are tired of people putting their legs on their neck. They are not breathing well. You know within you, down part of you, you know that you need a change. You need to be broken loose from the draconian hold they have on you. When I mean you, there are over 60% of people like you that cannot breathe, that cannot express themselves. So the expression of them is Paul Obazele coming out to bring out the freedom in them, coming out to let them find out what innate is in them.
You said before that you were led to come into this race. Could you expatiate on that?
Yeah, everybody has a vision. And when the vision became very, very clear, I was really led.
Led by who?
By the Almighty.
So God gave you this
vision.
So you're led of God to make this.
I will deliver this state. You will remember this day. And you will remember Paul Agbonze Obazele.
All right, many thanks for joining us on the program. It's been wonderful talking with famous Nollywood actor, producer, director, teacher, philanthropist, and what have you, our very own Paul Agbonze Obazele, who is a Labour Party Edo 2024 Governorship Aspirant, sharing with us his vision, his dreams, his aspiration, where the state is in his own estimation, and where he wants to take Edo State to, as well as the people. I want to thank you again for coming on the
Thank you very much.
Hope next time we'll have you here again.
Definitely. But just be ready to work with me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's our package for today on Road to Edo 2024. Be sure to join us on Wednesday at 5:30. We'll be having another guest here. Paul will be here with us on Friday for another section on Road to Edo 2024. On behalf of my producer, Thomas Sado, and the other production team, I'm Sonny Duke Okosun. Thanking you for staying with us. Have a lovely evening. Bye for now.